Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana. Alright, so Killer Oud Cabana is from the house Paris Corner. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this sucker up for $32 at places like Fragrance Buy. Link down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have a coupon code. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy if you decide you want to shop with them. Presentation on this, pretty nice, sticking with the Paris Corner Killer Oud style of packaging. Nice kind of like wood slats, kind of beachy style of texture to that. It is a slide off box like so, revealing our Killer Oud style of bottle with the iconic tassel that's on there. So pretty straightforward, nice looking bottle. Cap on this, nice heavy metal, and the atomizer on this sucker. Big fat sprays, goes pretty far. So overall presentation on this for $32. Well done. So if you were wondering what Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana smells like, you have come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. This is apparently a clone dupe inspired by of Amouage Beach Hut Man. Some of the notes listed in this are a mint, orange blossom, gallivanum, ivy, moss, vetiver, patchouli, myrrh, and some dry woods. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you really get that kind of green accord coming from that gallivanum, that ivy, that moss that comes through. Get a nice, fresh, spicy mint, kind of adding a cooling, aromatic style of nature to it, mixing in with those green accords. Very green, like lush, vegetal, like rooty style of green fragrance that comes through, but it has that fresh spice around the edge, and it also has that orange blossom that just kind of sings around the edges, just kind of softens things out, adds a little bit of floral sweetness to this so it doesn't get too overbearingly green, too kind of earthy soil kind of vibes going on to it. Adds a nice level of sweetness to it, balances off with that fresh, spicy kind of aromatic, cooling nature to it. Really nice, bright, fresh, clean, green style of fragrance in the opening. As this kind of opens up a little bit more, you get some vetiver that moves through and that ivy that kind of pushes forward a little bit more. So you get this kind of woody accord coming through that has more kind of a dry, grassy feel to it, almost like a little wisp or a little kiss of smoke that kind of works through, adding a little bit more of a kind of a dry texture to things, giving it a little bit more depth and a bit of a masculine kind of base to this. As that kind of develops a little bit further, those dry woods really start to push forward more, and it just kind of accentuates that kind of green nature. This still remains a very kind of fresh, green, bright, clean style of fragrance, but those woods just kind of add a little bit of texture, a little bit of dryness to it, and just kind of balances off those green accords with some nice kind of resins that start to move in. That orange blossom kind of dips behind a little bit, that sweet floral nature gets kind of tucked in and is replaced by a little bit more kind of a green, sweet, balsamic kind of kiss that works in there. Really, really nice green style of fragrance. It's just absolutely green through and through. That's just the only way you can put this. It's like sitting in a forest on like a crisp summer morning, very hot outside, but it had rained all night. It's got that kind of vibe to it, just like a very lush, very green, very fresh, invigorating style of fragrance to it. Earthy, rooty, absolutely amazing. A little bit unique. This might not be for everybody. I can see this kind of being a little challenging for people if you're not used to a very green style of fragrance. But for me, I think the scent accord is just the perfect balance of kind of a masculine fragrance that has like a certain boldness to it, but also has this kind of relaxed, laid back, you know, walking down the summer boardwalk, hanging on the beach, summer patio sort of vibe to it. So I really enjoy this. If you're into green style of fragrances, I really think you're going to enjoy the scent accord, because I think this is a really nice, well balanced, very smooth, not overly complex, but just unique enough that it'll kind of set you apart from most other things that are in your collection. So when it comes to the performance of Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana, I get about average performance off this, maybe a little bit below average. For kind of a fresh, bright, clean, green style of fragrance, I give this a little bit of slack. It's not supposed to necessarily perform like I'm absolute monster, and I'm kind of glad it doesn't. I do wish the longevity was slightly better. It's about 5-6 hours off my skin before it pretty much turns into a skin scent at that point. And projection is about an hour, hour and a half of moderate projection before it does settle back in. So longevity I wish was a little bit longer, but I think the projection on this is just right. I think because this is so green, earthy, rooty, that if it was like too aggressive, if it pushed off a little bit too hard, this might be a little bit overbearing for not only you, but also for other people around you. It just kind of got that unique style of scent profile going to it that if you were blasting out rooms with this, this would definitely be obnoxious. This would be too much. So projection I think is pretty good, but I do wish the longevity was a little bit better. But overall, for a fresh green style of fragrance, 5-6 hours longevity, not too disappointed. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana would be most appropriate. This is just a through and through spring summer style of fragrance. Very green, very bright, very fresh, and just has that spring summer vibe. Great for warm weather, great for hot weather. I think this is going to be great as a casual wear. Warm spring days, warm summer afternoons, even into the kind of the warm summer evenings. I think this is an absolute gem of a fragrance when it comes to those kind of occasions. Definitely a casual style fragrance. This has got that kind of beach vibe going on to it, kind of walking down the summer boardwalk, going to like a patio, hanging out for the afternoon, or even in the evening, as I mentioned. So very casual, laid back, relaxed style of fragrance. Not really a great office fragrance or a gym fragrance. It's too green. It's got too much of a rooty vibe going on to it. I think in closed corners at an office, this might be a little bit too much for some people. And at the gym, you're just gonna be kind of blasting off kind of rooty, grassy, resinous sweetness that's just not appropriate for the gym, fellas. But I mean, you do what you want to do, but you might annoy people. Definitely a casual style fragrance that is just perfect for the warm weather. So my overall thoughts on Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana. This is a really nice green style of fragrance. It's just got that right level of kind of masculinity to it, bright, fresh, clean style of green going on to it. It is unique, it is a little complex, and it might not be for everybody. I will say that right now. This is not your kind of mass appeal, easy to reach for style of summer freshy fragrance. It is, like I said, a very green, very rooty, has a lot of kind of complexities moving in there, but I really do enjoy that kind of gallivanum, that ivy, that moss, the woods that kind of work in there, mixing with that kind of fresh, spicy, aromatic nature. I find it's just a very interesting scent profile that I do enjoy, and it kind of sets itself apart from everything else in my collection as kind of a standalone, unique style of fragrance, and it really shines in that kind of green style of genre. But again, it's not going to be for everybody. Not everyone's going to appreciate the scent profile. A little bit mature, but also perhaps a little bit challenging. Performance-wise, wish it was a little bit better for longevity, but I do think it projects just fine. I think it's right in that proper range. And I think it's just great for casual wear in the spring, summer. I think it's gonna do absolutely perfect in those warmer months. So overall, I am pleased with this. I think for $32, this is a good pickup, only because it's kind of unique. This is not redundant in my collection. There's nothing else in my collection that quite smells like this. So for me, it just adds to that collection. It adds to the breadth of my collection. And I just really enjoy the scent profile. So if it sounds like something you're into, if you're into those green style of fragrances, masculine, bold, clean, bright, rooty style of green fragrances, I think you should be checking it out. That's Paris Corner's Killer Oud Cabana. And I want to hear from you guys. What's one of your favorite kind of green spring summer style of fragrances? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, hidden gems, scent profiles, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.